Baby boomers, get excited. This is the podcast that's for you, by you. The Boomer Business Owner is the only podcast dedicated to helping baby boomers successfully start and run an online business. If you're ready for empowering conversations with successful online entrepreneurs, then grab a coffee and listen into your host, Charlie Posnick.
Welcome to the Boomer Business Owner. My guest today is Sue Painter. Sue is an honorary baby boomer and a mentor to small business owners throughout the world. She is known for her quick insight, strong skills as a marketing strategist, and wisdom about life as a small business owner. Sue loves to work with solo professionals who want to refresh their business. Hey, Sue, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm very honored to be here. Thank you so much for asking me, Charlie.
It is our pleasure to have you here, Sue. Maybe you could start off by explaining in layman's terms to our listeners what you do.
Okay. In layman's terms, what I help people do is to either start or expand a business that is primarily online, meaning they use the internet and social media in order to prospect and gain clients or customers for their business. And they also often deliver their product or services online as well.
Well, that is right up our alley. How do you work with people? Do you do kind of consulting? Do you do group trainings, courses? What is your method of helping people?
I have three main ways that I work with people, Charlie. And I try to be a little bit flexible so that there's something that is a good match for each of the people I work with. I do email coaching where people can actually, for a 3-month period of time or longer, write me a question every single day, Monday through Thursday, and I will answer that question for them about their business or about life as a small business owner that very day. So if they're working on a project and they want me to kind of hold their hand through that project, like perhaps the launch of a Kindle book, then we work through that project on an email coaching basis. That way, it doesn't matter where they live, or even if they're working a full-time job, they can still have access to me daily. Then secondly, I work with people one-on-one doing consulting by phone, and we work by phone and by webcam when we need to, and I have clients literally all over the world. And then lastly, sometimes I have people who actually fly in to see me, and we spend a whole day together. Either conceptualize their online business from scratch if they don't have anything going already, or if they have something going but it's not profitable yet. We basically tear apart what their products and services are, who their target market is, and what their marketing funnel is, and rebuild their business, and they leave with a plan for the next 90 days.
So what is the purpose, the primary purpose of the focus online? If I was your neighbor, your friend, and I said, hey, Sue, I'm working for somebody else. I'm tired of it. I want to move on and I want to open up a dry cleaner. Would you not help me in that respect?
You know, I would help you in that respect, but I would point out also that the beauty of online businesses, and especially for boomers, is that you have a very low barrier to entry in terms of cost. You don't have to rent a brick and mortar place. You don't have to buy a franchise. You don't have to sign a lease. And you don't have to staff it with people who have, a brick and mortar place is going to have opening and closing hours. Online business, I love because it's totally flexible. I can work from anywhere in the world so long as I have my phone and my computer. And most baby boomers are looking for that flexibility.
So if I come to you and, I'm a prospective client of yours and I want to do some one-on-one coaching, just at a very high level, Sue, what are the first couple of things we're going to talk about?
First couple of things we're going to talk about is, well, it kind of depends. If you have something going already and it's not working as well as you'd like it to work in terms of income, then I'll be asking you, what is the structure? Who are you serving? What is that? What are your products and services? More than likely, the marketing is not matching what it is that you're offering. If you're coming and just saying, right now I'm in the corporate world, I'm either taking early retirement, or I've been booted out, or I just can't stand the 8 to 5 anymore, then I will be asking you, tell me the thing that you are really good at, and we're going to build a business around that.
And arguably, we all have something that we're really good at.
Arguably, we absolutely do. And especially folks who are boomers, because there's so much rich education and work experience and life experience in this group of folks. So they have so much to bring to the table. And they should be proud of that, and rightfully so. But it's a mindset, Charlie. When you've been working for someone else all your life, you don't think about what it is you have to bring to the marketplace. You only think about what you have done as a member of a team in a larger organization. You don't see yourself as an entrepreneur or somebody who has something to sell. But I will tell you, I can line anybody up, and within 30 minutes, I can help them figure out, here's something you could do to make money.
Okay, so let me give you the benefit of the doubt that if I come to you and I say, Sue, I want you to help me make an extra $200 a month. That we'll come up with something, you can help me set it up, you can help me implement it. Well, what if I come to you and say, hey, Sue, I'm really unhappy with what I'm doing. I make $250,000 a year. I could scrimp and scrape by on, maybe $10,000 a month or something. So can you help me start this online business where I'm going to be making $10,000 a month, not tomorrow, but sooner rather than later? Is that an unrealistic expectation?
It might be an unrealistic expectation. It depends on what you have to bring to the marketplace. More than likely, you can hit that 10,000. Now, how quickly you can hit it depends on how much time you have to give it and how you're really willing to dig into your mindset and change the things, to change how you think and learn about how the internet works. Because it's an amazing thing, but it's kind of part art, part science, and you really have to dig in and be comfortable and used to online marketing methods. So if you said to me, I need $10,000 a month in the next 60 days, more than likely I'm going to say it's going to take longer than that. It would have to be a really unique situation for it to work that quickly. Can it work in the long term? If you're willing to go the distance, it absolutely can.
Maybe we could elaborate a little bit on going the distance. What does that mean?
Going the distance means you've got savings until you get to that $10,000 a month. Or if you're going to keep your job, then you're really willing to put in the nights and weekends to build the online platform. If you have no online platform and no online visibility, you're willing to maybe write a book in order to get some social proof and visibility and credibility. You're willing to work on your mindset. You're willing to read, and really follow what I say about how to market online. You're willing to learn the technicalities of an online marketing business. It works and it can support people, but I'm not going to say you can do it in 15 minutes a day, because you can't.
So set our expectations, Sue. I'm a realistic guy, so I'm working for somebody else.
Yeah.
And I'm making X amount of dollars. And let's just say in my mind, I want to make, a few $1,000s, several $1,000s. I'm happy if that happens 12 months from now. Like, I want to, position myself as being realistic here. From your perspective, what should I budget for my investment in working with someone like you, my investment in getting my website set up and my social properties set up, or any other courses or things I need to take to kind of get myself up to speed? I mean, is this something that I'm going to be investing $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000? Can you just give me some broad expectation?
It depends a little bit on how tech savvy you are and how much you're willing to do yourself. Most folks who are the people I work with don't have the time and don't really have the tech skills to do it all themselves. So they do need to put some investment into some people who can help them, say, build a very simple website or even just a landing page so that they can start, building a list, which is what it takes in online marketing in order to make money. But honestly, instead of doing a brick and mortar thing where you may have to lay out $50,000 or $100,000, you can make money online and spend somewhere between 2 and 5, I think, to get yourself started, and started really very well. Now, if you don't have an absolute dime to put in, then and I do have people who come to me, what I say is, right now, start saving 10% or as much as you possibly can of your income and sock it away into a Build My Business account, and in a year from now, come back and say, I now have that $2,000 or $3,000, so that I can say, here's where you can go and you can get a landing page set up. Here's what you can do. And in the meanwhile, you could certainly be building some presence on social media. But it's going to take it takes money to make money. It doesn't take a ton, but you do have to have some to invest.
So just to be clear, if I had maybe up to several $1,000s or $10,000 set aside in my extra business account, that should be a significant or sufficient enough investment to get me where I want to go.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Well, that's the beauty of online. It's a lower barrier to entry than other businesses are. Got it.
I hear that you're helping me with the strategy. Do you also help me with the implementation? Meaning, are you helping me set up the website or the landing page? Or are you saying, Charlie, I'll refer you to somebody who can help you with that?
No, I'm not a tech person. My brilliance is really the marketing strategy and pulling from you what it is that we could market, what you could make money on, that you already know and have within yourself. I can point people to low cost, efficient ways to get a landing page up or a website done. Or, I can teach you how to build social media presence, but I stay out of the tech stuff because my brilliance is really not there. So I have, for me, even in my own business, I have a team of people who handles that for me now.
All right. So let's just, as an example, say I am an accountant and I come to work with you and we determine that I know tons and tons and tons about Microsoft Excel. And you're saying to me, Charlie, I think that's, you seem to enjoy that. And I think that we could do something with that. And, my initial thought is let's do a course. We'll have a 10 module course and, we'll provide that online to people and we'll market it online, et cetera, et cetera. Understanding that from a technical aspect, someone will help me implement that. Are you going to sit down and say, all right, Charlie, let's outline what these 10 modules are going to be and, help me with that whole process, or is that outsourced? Or I'm a little bit afraid that I'm going to be responsible for doing something that needs to be done that I'm not good at doing.
Right. And so most accountants are really brilliant at one little area, like using QuickBooks, or like you say, maybe they're an Excel spreadsheet whiz, but maybe they're not the best teachers of that. So we're going to sit down and I'm going to ask them a series of questions to, what are the top 10 things you want to teach people about using Excel spreadsheets? And then we can figure out, are they comfortable doing that in a book, in a webinar, in videos, in just online, training that people can draw down in a PDF and a workbook that they can work through? I will help them structure that. And if they need help with ghostwriting it, I can find somebody to help them with that. But most people can write about what they're really good at, and they know. They might just need help with formatting it and putting it in a format that is instruction, that is clear enough to help someone else when they read through it and work through it. So it really kind of depends on what the person needs. But what I'm looking at is, here's what you're going to do. Here's how you're going to format it. Here's the price point it's going to be. Here's how you're going to market it.
And I am guilty of getting hung up on the how. Well, Sue, I don't know how to, create a video. I don't know how to format it. I don't know how to do this thing. And what I hear you saying is probably not something that we need to be focusing on. Let's focusing on the what or even the why, and we'll get the other stuff implemented.
I'm so glad you bring that up, Charlie, because that is the key to having success when you're moving from a corporate job to owning your own business. You have to fly and you don't know the how. You just have to take the steps in. I'm going to go create this, and the way in which you create it will be revealed as you step toward it. One of my own mentors a long time ago told me online marketing is about flying the plane while you're still building the back end of the plane. And that is very true. That is very true. You may not know how to do the video. Don't worry about I don't know how to do this and this. Just get the concept of what you're going to do. And then as we move forward, you'll learn what you need to do. And in 6 months, it'll be second nature to you. All the terminology, all the, what is Skype, what is a YouTube video, all of that kind of stuff will be second nature to you. It's kind of a different language that you have to learn if you're not used to the online world, but it isn't rocket science either. It's totally doable.
Well, and you or the services you provide, I think, are a key there because if I am just the person who doesn't know what they're doing, yeah, it's great to start flying the plane before you build the back end. But if I don't know what I'm doing, I'm eventually probably going to crash. But if I have someone like you kind of holding my hand or guiding me through the process, I think that's the difference that makes the difference.
Yeah. If a person wants to have an online business and they really want to bootstrap it all themselves, they can do that. There's a ton of free information online. And on my own website, I have probably close to 700 blog posts by now. And every single one of them gives a tip about either the mindset or the technicality needed to have an online business. I have very low cost ebooks that people can buy for less than $30. I have, books on Amazon that people can buy, one of which right now, the one that went bestseller this week is 99 cents right now. So there's lots of low cost and free information. What happens sometimes is people get lost in all that information and they don't know how to pull from it how they need to actually think about and structure how they're going to monetize their idea. Some people can do that successfully. They're really self-starters. Most people who come from working for someone else, they're not enough of they don't know how to structure and formulate it. They have to teach themselves how to do that with the help of somebody else who can just show them the ropes. It's really about, and it's just like if you go take a new job in the corporate world, somebody's going to show you the ropes.
Yeah, and sadly, I think a lot of people fall into the trap of the, I like to call it ready, aim, 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 aim.
Yes.
They don't know about this, so they buy a course, they buy a book, and they keep reading and thinking, all right, I need to, still learn some more about this before I get started.
Yeah, it is really the mindset. I mean, I sit and talk with people who have such expertise in so many different areas, and they don't believe it about themselves. And it actually always makes me really sad. It's like they don't understand what they have that someone else really could benefit from. And you have to get rid of that self-doubt. Just because you've never promoted yourself, because you've spent a lifetime working for someone else, doesn't mean that you can't learn to promote yourself and to say, I'm really good at this one thing.
Sue, talk to us for a few minutes about your background and how you got to where you are now, how you gained the expertise you currently have.
Oh, goodness. Okay, I'll try to make it brief. Just like the people that we're talking about, I came from the corporate research world. And I always had been entrepreneurial. I always chafed at the 8 to 5 thing, always thought of a better way to do things. And finally, I decided that I was going to lead my 6-figure plus business, my research world, and go out on my own. I dropped out and I went to massage therapy school, and I opened up a medical massage clinic. That was my first business in a medical building. Had that for 14 years. And within 18 months, I personally was booked over a year in advance, and I had to start hiring staff. And the reason for that is within the corporate job, I knew that it was my responsibility to go bring money in the door. The research projects that needed to be funded, I had to go and find that funding. I was the one who directed the program. So I knew how to market and, get myself booked solid. So I started in about 2005. So many people kept saying to me, how did you do this? That eventually I started the Confident Marketer and started helping other businesses, primarily service professionals, figure out how to get themselves booked solid as well. So, I just learned by doing. And then I learned from top coaches, one of whom I coach for now today in her business. So I went to school and learned it, found the best mentors and coaches that I could and paid good money to learn, to be able to pick their brain. And now, I do it myself and coach others.
So are there any particular resources that maybe you have used or you do use, whether it's a blog or a website or a course or an ebook, other than your great material that you could recommend to our listeners who want to, just take the first step in getting up to speed on some of this stuff?
Yeah, there's a couple. And I really believe in starting out kind of low cost and seeing if it's a good match for you before you move on to the kind of higher end programs. I mean, because there's a wide variety. There's some that are $297, and there's some that are $100,000. So you want to start with those 297s, right? And invest in those and then really go to school and learn everything. One person I continually learn from is Paul Evans, and he has a website called nicheology.com. He has so many resources on there that teach you how to start doing an information-based online business, which probably many baby boomers could do because they do have so much information they could sell, right? So that would be a good resource. It is a fairly low-cost resource, and there's all kinds of, it's almost overwhelming the amount of resources that are on that website. So that would be one. Let's see. Are you thinking about any particular, another friend of mine, Lou Bartone, Bortone, he is like the video king. He can teach you anything and everything about making home-based videos that you can use in your online marketing, and that you can also use in product development if you're going to do video products, like a series of 4 or 6 videos that are teaching someone something that you know. He's been around the online marketing world for a long time, and you can buy some of his downloadable courses at a pretty low price point. They're probably less than $500. I don't know off the top of my head, but probably less than $500 anyway. And he's very well versed in YouTube, which, YouTube has now surpassed Facebook as the busiest social media in the internet world.
Sue, it's interesting. I have gone back and forth about whether or not to ask the question I just asked you, because one of the things, and I'm guilty of this as well, is falling into the kind of information overload trap or too much information. So just again, as a friend, fine, you gave me those 2 sites, and I'm sure I could spend the next month ingesting the information on those sites.
You could.
So how do you, when you're working with somebody like me, at what point do you stop saying, okay, let's read this or educate yourself here, and you say, let's just jump in and start doing it? Or in your example earlier, start flying the plane. Should that start immediately? Yeah,
that should start immediately.
Okay.
It should start immediately. The problem that I see with a lot of folks who are boomers is that, they go to school, they study, they read. You don't need more information. You have what it takes already. If you need a skill, then I'll say, here, this is how you do this, or here, go learn this. And by the way, I should mention also if a boomer wants to try to monetize a blog, which many people do want to do that. They want to put up a blog and then put AdSense on it, or, sell product on it, or sell affiliate product on it. Then 2 great people to learn from, neither one of whom are expensive, are Lynn Terry and Dan Morris. Those 2 people. They are both friends of mine, and I've learned from both of them. So those are 2 people if you're interested in monetizing a blog. There are a lot of blogs out there that aren't making any money. They can teach you how to monetize a blog. And
it's Lynn, Lynn Terry.
Lynn Terry, yes. And Dan Morris.
So to kind of wrap up, Sue, just, with what you know now, what kind of advice might you give to your younger self?
I regret heartily that I waited so long to go to work for myself. I've been working for myself now for about 18 years. And I wish, honestly, that I'd never even bothered with the corporate world.
Wow, that's a big statement there.
It's a big statement. I'm not saying I didn't learn good stuff. I did. I certainly learned about marketing and doing proposals and all of that. But you know what? What it took me all those years to learn in the corporate world, I could have learned in 6 months, really. And it gives you so much more income and so much more flexibility. My husband and I, we live in Nashville in the spring, in the summer and the fall, and we live on the beach at the Gulf Coast for the winter and the spring. If I can work anywhere in the world, I can work from a cruise ship. I've worked from a hospital bed. So that flexibility and that ability to create the income that you want, you can't match it. If I know that my husband and I want to go on a cruise, I can put a product out and I can drive traffic to that product and I can pay for that cruise. Now, a new person couldn't do this, but in time they could. I can pay for that cruise in a week The flexibility is amazing. And that's what I want people to understand. It's not about me, it's about them. It gives them ultimate freedom. But you do have to work at it, and you have to be disciplined and focused.
As a generalization, I come to you and I'm working for somebody else. And you know what, Sue, I'm not happy, but I'm not completely miserable. I mean, if I had to do it for another few years or so, I could definitely do that. And I also say to you, you know, Sue, I've had this little nest egg, or I put aside $10,000 in my started business account. As a generalization, do you suggest that a person continues with their daily job and can and should begin their online journey part-time, or if they have the money and have the savings and can build themselves a runway, would quitting their job and starting this full-time materially accelerate their success?
You know, I know you hate that answer. It depends, but it does kind of depend on the personality of the person and how big they want to go. For most people, though, generally, Charlie, I would say if you're not abjectly miserable in your job and you can keep it another 2 or 3 years and ramp up on the side, be building your visibility online, be building some platform, then that's, of course, the smart thing to do. I would never want to tell anybody, oh, quit. You know, you can replicate that income in the next 30 days, because more than likely you can't. You're going to have to work at it a little bit if you have no online presence. If you've already got some online presence, it might be possible. So it depends question, but generally I would say, unless you just are thinking you're going to have a heart attack the next time you walk in the office, ride with it and keep building slowly and steadily on the side. And one day you'll make the break.
Great advice, Sue. What is the best way for our listeners to reach out and connect with you?
Go to my website, which is www.confidentmarketer.com. And you will find on that website a way to leave your name and email address and get a 7-part kind of a mini e-course in marketing from me. And then you also will find products and how to coach with me, and also the blog, which has just I've been blogging since 2006, I think. So hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of blog posts that you can read through as well.
Well, all the fantastic resources mentioned in today's episode will be available on the show notes page at theboomerbusinessowner.com. Sue, thanks so much. On behalf of all of our listeners, we really, really appreciate your help.
Oh, happy to be here, Charlie. Thank you for having me.
Boomers, the time is now to take action and finally build your dream online business. And the great news is that Charlie is here to help. Visit theboomerbusinessowner.com and sign up for your free 15-minute consultation with Charlie to help you discover your first steps to starting your online business. Only those who take action are rewarded, so visit theboomerbusinessowner.com and we'll see you tomorrow.